and that's like why they're going to buy my book. And I definitely think that's in there.
Was there any hesitation in sharing any, super personal stories, or do you feel like relief that it kind of paints a bigger picture? Because as a reader and someone, who obviously watched the show, it kind of some of your past relationships and your long high school relationship with Brady, if that's his real name, who knows, kind of made more sense with the Luke stuff, and maybe like how with everything with that and how you felt so shamed and why that was like your moment to kind of take it back. Like, was that part of it too? Like you got to put the pieces together yourself and realize how you why you reacted certain ways or how things played out?
I definitely had some hesitation because, you're sharing personal stories with that obviously involve another human. But what was really important for me when I was deciding like what I was going to share and what I wasn't was like, did it have a purpose other than being gossip or just like, I'm just still like have a like, some type of like bitterness. Like if it was that, like it could not be in there. I had to really be like, how is this helpful? How is this relatable? How is this going to help somebody else that's reading it? And if it wasn't that, then I wasn't going to put it in there. So, yeah, it was definitely hard to kind of figure out what I wanted to put in there, but I think everything like has a purpose, and I can stand behind it. And I know that I'm like a very honest human. Like, hello, I think of all the relationship stuff, like I'm very self-aware of how I played a part in things too. And I hope that comes across in the book, because I definitely take ownership for a lot of things that happened in my life. But that's been the beauty of being able to kind of like process everything and see where, I made mistakes along the way. And that's the whole kind of point of the book, is like all those really messy mistakes, like if you can go back and like learn from them, then they can really kind of be that miracle to help you move forward.
No, I think that definitely comes across. I mean, it made me laugh every time in the parentheses when you're like, girl, don't do this. Like, but I did it, by the way. Oops. Like, it was funny because it was like, yeah, don't do it. But I did it, but I was 20, whatever. Like, I liked that. It comes across for sure. There is some tea in this book, though. Are you a little worried about some of those fantasy suite details that snuck in there, kind of getting out there?
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not unaware that there are some people who just want the tea, and that's like why they're going to buy my book. And I definitely think that's in there. But even still, like, try to make sure that everything, even though there might be a little tidbits of stuff that like, it gives the tea, that every like full story is there for a purpose. But yeah, I mean, I guess I am like a little bit worried about it.
I mean, I was a little surprised to learn about the Peter season hookup at Barb's house. Does he know that that's going to be in the book? Are you expecting to hear from him?
He has not been a part of this process of writing this book. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
I mean, selfishly, I enjoyed reading about it, and, that was an interesting layer.
Yeah, but like even that, like telling that story, I think it just really gives a really honest and vulnerable like account of like what was kind of going on in my life. And really like there's like this buildup that kind of happens right, and then my brother has the overdose, and like then the stuff with the quarantine crew, like all this stuff was like really being like, it was like this perfect storm that, really, unfortunately, like there were some mistakes and all that, but led me to getting the help that I needed, I think. So I think that story kind of really was important, and I think it's relatable. I mean, maybe not the parents' house, but
no, it definitely is.
Kind of making a poor decision when you're hurting, and I think a lot of girls can relate to that.